Bill Gates quits board as Microsoft investigated his affair with employee. Microsoft received a concern in the latter half of 2019 that Bill Gates sought to initiate an intimate relationship with a company employee in the year 2000. Microsoft said in a statement, Microsoft Corporation conducted an investigation into co-founder Bill Gates' involvement with an employee almost 2 decades ago after it was informed in 2019 of his attempt to start a romantic relationship with that person. The board reviewed the matter and held a thorough investigation with the help of external law firm. The software giant said it didn't reach a conclusion to the probe because Gates had stepped down before it was completed, Microsoft said. Microsoft received a concern in the latter half of 2019 that Bill Gates sought to initiate intimate relationship with a company employee in the year 2000. Microsoft said in a statement, a committee of the board reviewed in the concern aided by an outside law firm to conduct a thorough investigation. Throughout the investigation, Microsoft provided extensive support to the employee who raised the concern. Dow Jones earlier reported that Microsoft directors found Gates' involvement with the female employee to be inappropriate and decided last year that he had stepped down from the board, citing people familiar with the matter who weren't identified. Microsoft didn't provide further detail on the investigation. The billionaire said in March last year that he was stepping down from the board. The billionaire said in March last year he was stepping down from the board to devote more time to philanthropy. Gates has been active in day-to-day role since 2018, Microsoft said at that time. Gates co-founded the software company in 1975 and served its CEO until 2000, the same year his foundation was started, and was chairman until February 2014. An affair. A spokeswoman for Gates said that a decision to leave the board was nothing to do with the romantic involvement with an employee. There was an affair almost 20 years ago which ended amicably, which said, adding that his decision to transition off the board was in no way related to this matter. The belated investigation into the affair came at a time that was marked by a groundswell of discussion of Microsoft of the treatment of women and Me Too conversations in the broader industry. Since 2000, Microsoft had also put place processes for investigation allegations and overhauled them with the goal of making them stronger, the company said. Intel Corporation Chief Executive Officer Brian Kazin resigned after the board was informed that he had a consensual relationship with a subordinate. Even though the relationship had ended years before and predated his appointment to the job at that company, the board conducted investigations internally and via external counsel to confirm the violations of the company's policy and made the announcement on June 2018. Gates and Melinda French Gates announced their divorce early this month after 27 years of marriage. Several reports, including those that emerged over the weekend, said she had raised concerns over her dealing with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The New York Times had reported in 2019 that Gates had met with Epstein several times and once stayed late at this New York townhouse. Epstein had died in jail 2 months prior while awaiting trial on federal charges related to sex trafficking. Gates' spokesman denied the reports. The characterization of his meeting with Epstein and other about philanthropy is inaccurate, she said. The rumors and speculation surrounding Gates' divorce are becoming increasingly absurd. While Gates dealing with Epstein weren't a part of the scope of Microsoft investigation, it was discussed by some board members, according to a person familiar with the matter, who asked not to be identified because the information isn't public. Stock transfer. The split also put a spotlight on the Gates fortune, valued at about $144 billion by the Bloomberg Billionaire Index, as well as their foundation. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is the largest of its kind on the planet. With more than 1,600 employees and offices around the world, it has already distributed more than $50 billion since its inception to causes like vaccine development and women's empowerment. Thank you.